Hi, and welcome to the first Institute of Catholic Theology YouTube video podcast thing. I'm your host, Will Wright. I'm adjunct faculty with the Institute of Catholic Theology, and I am very pleased to be joined today by our first speaker for the fall of 2023, Rae-Mi. So, Rae-Mi, would you please introduce yourself, tell us a bit about yourself, and anything that you'd like the audience to know?
Absolutely. Nice to speak with you, Will. My name is Rae-Mi LeRoy, and I am the Director of Evangelism at St. John Vianney Catholic Church and the Chapel of the Holy Cross in Sedona, Arizona. I'm also a student at Franciscan University. I'm going to be getting my master's in theology and Christian ministry. I'm in my last semester this semester. And I've had the pleasure of uh, working with ICT for many years. First, just as a student, and now as a speaker. So this is wonderful.
Yeah, when we met as students of Franciscan here in Phoenix, at least in Arizona, um, at the Institute of Catholic Theology, Dr. Eric Westby, the director, even before there was a really solid partnership with Franciscan University, said any local students come and meet at St. Thomas the Apostle and let's get together and form community. So it was great to meet you as well as a few other folks. And I finished that master's degree as well. So we're very like-minded when it comes to our formation and training. So it's always a joy to talk with you. I know we've also done presentations at the same time before. We did
Yes.
that panel on Vatican II, so that was fun. So what we're talking about today is you are doing the first Saturdays with the Saints talk, which is coming up on Saturday, October 7th. And all the details can be found at ictphx.org/event. It's event, not events. So EVENT. So without giving too much away, we don't want spoilers, but who are you talking about? And this is a big question. Why should we care in 2023? I
Yeah.
guess also mention, when was this person around?
Yeah, I was joking with you earlier. Can you have a spoiler alert for something that happened in the 13th century? I don't know. But I'm going to be speaking about Saint King Louis the Ninth. And I actually originally learned about him in detail when I was reading a book called Defenders of the West. And I was completely
Hmm.
captured by him. He's one of the most courageous, virtuous, and holy men I have ever heard of. He was obviously a king, but he was holy from the start. His mother really formed him as a child. And a famous quote you hear from him, I'll just paraphrase, is that his mother said that if he were in danger of death and the only way he could live was to commit a mortal sin, she would rather he die. So just to give
Hmm.
you an idea of what he was formed with as a child. And he actually ended up, his father died when he was 12. So he ended
Hmm.
up becoming the king with his mother as the regent at a very young age. But he was raised around monks and religious. So holiness was, and focusing on Christ was his main objective, no matter what was happening. And I think this is where I want to bring in, like, why is this important for us?
Hmm.
Because his story is not for the faint of heart. He led the Seventh Crusade and the Eighth Crusade. So he was in these battles, suffered plague, was taken prisoner. So we have
Hmm.
all of these incredibly extreme situations that he was in, and um, just to get to the point, I mean, he really failed, and he's a saint, you know. And why is that? Because he was holy through all of these
Hmm.
experiences, and that's just one piece of it. He's also well known for his charity. He would, when he got back, um, he would, when he had dinner, he would bring in people from the streets, the poor, to eat dinner, and he would wait for them, help them, and then eat just their scraps. Just as one of like tons of examples of these things he did. I mean, he would always
Wow.
say, never say anything that you wouldn't want everyone to know. He was just, it's almost unbelievable how he conducted himself.
Well, yeah. I mean, as a history teacher, because that's what my day job is a history and religion teacher at JP2 High School. Um, that's unheard of for sure. That's not the behavior of a king in the Middle Ages by any stretch. I mean, they weren't yet flirting with absolutism, but still, the idea that he would eat scraps, it shows the heart of a king. It shows what
Mhm.
Jesus' own kingship looks like. So that's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you just have these extremes with him that, in some respect, we can all relate to going through difficult times and just seeing how he went through a time that was so difficult. And hopefully, none of us will ever understand. And yet, he was
mhm.
holy through all of these experiences, and then coming back to then a comfortable life where he's king and still
Yeah,
living in this way, um, no matter what the
shows
circumstances.
virtue.
Exactly. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's almost unbelievable. If you listen to this and your heart isn't moved, maybe you need to go to the doctor. But yeah, he captured my heart for sure, and that's why I really wanted to share this with everyone because I don't think people really know his story.
Fantastic. Well, for those who are interested, and hopefully that's everybody listening, the talk is on October 7th at St. Thomas the Apostle in the ICT room, which is just next to the church on the west side. And the talk begins at 9:15, and you should go. And if you can't go, like say you're not in Phoenix, say you're traveling somewhere, you don't have to miss it because everything is available through the ICT online as well. So again, go to ictphx.org/event and you can register right there for the very, very low cost of free. There's no cost at all. So there's no reason not to come. There's no reason not to come. So absolutely come out. And that way, this is one of the things I love about ICT that you don't get with something like forum.org. And we love you, forum.org. Augustine Institute is phenomenal. So I'm definitely not looking down on forums, but you don't get the in-person component with something like Formed or something like Hallow. With the Institute of Catholic Theology, if you're able to come in person, you can actually speak to Rae-Mi. If there's something that Rae-Mi says that you're like, oh, that's really interesting, and you want to talk more about it, I know, I mean, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. You're kind of a nerd, and so am I. And so we love it when people come and actually want to know more. And so you get that. You get to meet other people who are like minded and Catholic and trying to
Mhm.
be missionary disciples as well. So definitely come on out October 7th, Saturday, 9:15 at St. Thomas the Apostle Parish and the Institute of Catholic Theology. And Rae-Mi, any final words? Is there any thing that you'd like to add about where can people find you online or the things that are close to your heart? Anything to share?
Yeah, I just want to share my parish and the chapel here in Sedona. I actually manage the social media and websites and live streaming for St. John Vianney Catholic Church and the Chapel of the Holy Cross. So you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at SJV Sedona and Chapel Sedona. So definitely check us out.
Excellent. Yeah, I've been up there a few times myself, and it's just gorgeous,
Oh
especially
yeah.
up at the chapel. The view is phenomenal. I mean, Sedona is paradisical. Is that a word? It's beautiful. It's just you get into the valley there, and then the red rocks just sort of appear as you're
Yeah.
driving, and it's like, man, this place is really cool.
Have you ever
So
heard
if you
the
haven't been
joke
there, definitely check it out.
that God created the Grand Canyon, but he lives in Sedona?
I had not heard that, but that's I could see that. I often tell people when they're visiting, they say, "Oh man, I got to get to the Grand Canyon." I'm like, "Sure, sure," but go to Sedona because it's like 2 hours north of here.
Well, and the Catholic community here is just building, and it's very exciting to see. So it definitely come up here and be a part of it.
Fantastic. Well, Rae-Mi, thank you so much for your time. And for all those who are interested in coming in, it's ictphx.org/event. You can register online for free, come in person or attend online. Again, it's free. So no reason not to come. King Louis of France, Rae-Mi LeRoy is going to be our presenter October 7th, 9:15, St. Thomas the Apostle in the ICT room. So come on out. We'll love to see you there. Thanks, Rae-Mi.
Thank you.